Hello, you guys. Happy Monday morning. I'm sitting here getting ready for the day. That's why the lighting is so trash. Well, let's be real. Lighting's always trash, but yeah, that's what's going on here. I am putting on my makeup. I just put on my lashes. But as I was saying, it's Monday morning and we have been all kind of dragged through this Diddy trial the past week. I was about to shake this with no top on. That would have been bad. We've all been dragged through this Diddy trial this, past week, and today starts a new week of testimony, and we know Cassie Ventura was on the stand for the better part of last week, letting us know of her experiences with Diddy and how he has been a horrific abuser to her in her life. Like horrific abuse, physical, sexual, mentally, like all of it. And I do see a lot of people saying, well, what she's telling us isn't really what his charges are about. And like in some ways I definitely agree, but I feel like the prosecution is trying to build this story and they're going to build off of this. This is like the foundation of like, hey, this is this man's character and behavior. We're going to let you know from the woman that he was closest to for the better part of like, what, 10, 11 years, a decade. The one obviously he had other people he was dealing with, but she was the main. He was seen out with her. She was going to the events. She was the one on his arm. So like, here's the woman who has been closest to him for better part of a decade, and she would know best. So we're going to let you know what she endured while they were together. And then we're also going to bring in Dom Richard, who worked with him, like doing business. It wasn't like a personal romantic relationship. So now we're getting into how Diddy handled himself in the public, doing business with people, and even people that were hired by him and were a part of this band he created. He didn't give a fuck if he was seen abusing Cassie even in front of them, because he was like, basically, I own y'all too and y'all aren't gonna say shit. So the audacity of this man, from what Don Richard was testifying to, of Cassie cooking breakfast in the kitchen for Diddy, and she's like cooking eggs and whatnot on the stove, and Don Richard was over there. This is in one of Diddy's many homes. I feel like they said like it might have been the LA home, but Don Richard was over there, and she witnessed Diddy come up to Cassie, who was cooking like eggs or something in this pan, and he's like, where's my breakfast? Which she's actively cooking to get ready for him, and for whatever reason, well, he's crazy, that's the reason, clearly unstable, he holds up and like grabs the pan and like tries to go hit her upside the head with it, like as it has the eggs in it. Not tries, apparently, from what Dom was saying, he like goes to hit her over the head with this pan, and she kind of like drops to the floor and like gets in this fetal position. And because obviously she's used to this, and that's the best thing to do in a situation, you just kind of stop and drop. So that's what she did. And apparently after that, like, she was taken, and the behavior or the assault continued, and like she could hear it and whatnot. And the lawyer was asking Don, like, did you do anything? And Don was like, no. Did you say anything? Did you get involved in any type of way? And she's like, no. And it's like, a lot of people may feel a type of way about that, but like being realistic and being like a human, we know, like, just in general, even like on the streets, people say the law says you should yell fire instead of help, because people are not going to want to get involved. If you scream help, they're more likely to get involved and help if you're screaming fire. So they even, like, human nature, you just don't want to get involved in stuff. And she just saw this man, with whom is her boss basically, assault the woman that he's supposed to be with in love in front of her face, with no qualms about it, no type of reaction. Like, that would be terrifying. Because it's like, and she even says she was like worried about herself too. Obviously she was worried about Cassie, but she was worried about myself. And it's like, duh, because you just saw him do that in front of you and he didn't give a fuck. Like, the audacity of this man to do that in front of people. And what would make her think he's not going to come back and like do something to her as well? So then apparently, like, the next day, she was talking to Cassie and she was like, you know, it got passionate. Passionate being the word, which is abusive in reality. But I guess, like, when you're inside of the ish, you try to like make it sound better than what it actually is, just to keep yourself together, I guess, in some ways. So she's like, yeah, it got passionate, but like we should just probably not talk about this because people come up missing. And it's like, obviously you know what that means when someone says people come up missing. That's terrifying. And so the lawyer even asked, like, what did you take that to mean? And she was like, death. Like, they've seen people come up missing before, and we know about Kim for sure. Allegedly, they say that he was involved in that. I'm like oiling my scalp. I'll Be Sure has claimed that he's very sure that Diddy tried to take him out. Kid Cudi, apparently, it said that Diddy blew his stuff up. People claim, well, yeah, Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car is what we're being told. And obviously people have been rumored for years talking about what happened to Biggie and Tupac and Diddy's possible involvements. Like, these rumors are out here. Who knows what the, like, if this man definitely can make something like that happen. If he's sitting there taking people out, like abusing people in front of another person, he's had all these people, security, bodyguards, whatnot, who probably have seen a lot worse, and they're just sitting there allowing it to happen. I wonder if, like, the people who were like actively around when all of this all of these things were like happening, can they be prosecuted? But then it's like they were probably scared for their lives too. So it's like a tough situation. And then, like, a lot of people were saying that like reputable sources too, like on Friday, people were saying that Aubrey O'Day, who was also in the band that Diddy made, Danny Kane, I forget, like, Danny Duquesne, however the fuck you say it, whatever, in the group that he made with making the band, people were saying that Aubrey O'Day was going to testify. And I was like, oh my god, I'm looking forward to that, because Aubrey has been somebody who has talked mad shit about Diddy for years. She's had a lot to say about him and his behavior and the things that, like, she endured. And apparently, like, she was seen out in New York and whatnot. But apparently over this weekend, it was advised that, you know, Aubrey says she's not going to be testifying at the Diddy trial. It's just not safe for her mental health, her safety, all those things. So it is very interesting that she's not going to be testifying, just because she's been really vocal in the past. And she's kind of said in the past also that she'd be willing to testify against him. So I wonder what's changed. And it could possibly just be the fact that, like, fear, like, this man is obviously, he had a lot of power and he can make things happen. And we're just at, like, the beginning of this, of where he was doing all this behavior and people just went along with it because he stuck in Diddy and had all this power. And so now we're hearing with Don's testimony that he wasn't just doing it in private. Well, they did happen to be at his house, but like, it's not like it was just reserved to him and Cassie. He was doing it in front of other people as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what takes place this week. If you are following the Diddy trial, everybody kind of has their own favorite platforms or accounts that they follow, whether it's a blogger, whether it's like CNN, some law and crime, you know, an account like that. I've been watching via one of my favorite bloggers. I'm like all up in this camera, sorry. I've been watching one of my favorite bloggers, Sherelle and Perry. They've been doing coverage on the Diddy trial and they're like on there all day. So I've really been enjoying them. It's like an 8-hour situation. Like you can literally put it on. They like start at 9. And it just makes your day go by faster, honestly. Because I gotta go into the office today. So that's gonna be my Monday. I'm gonna be in this office, get some good work done. Watch the Diddy trial or listen to the Diddy trial. Hopefully people will leave me alone and I can get up out of there and bring my ass back home. And then maybe we could talk about the other stuff. I hate putting on mascara. It's so ugly. We could talk about the stuff that we've learned as we've watched the Diddy trial. Look at my mouth open, like that's just fucking horrible. But yeah, that's what's happening. And it's gonna be interesting to see what goes down on today and what more Don Richard has to say, because I believe when they ended on Friday, they said, you know, she could leave, but we'll see you on Monday, from what I remember the judge saying. So I believe they're probably going to start with Don on the stand, which is exciting. And there's like all types of bloggers and all the media are out there. They have people that they pay to like stand in line for them and stuff. It's a whole ordeal. I don't know even if like I could, if I would go out there, just because like that's a lot for me, especially in you're in New York anyway. I think I would go if I could. If I were to go to a trial that's happening right now, maybe I'd go in like support of Luigi because we all know. But yeah, I went to the Johnny Depp trial when that was on because it was in my area, and I'm like, when is the next time like a celebrity like this is gonna be in my area? Exactly. Not likely. So let me go take my ass. So I did do that, but that would probably be, if I were to go to New York, that would be the case. I would go. But yeah, I'm ready to head out the door, about to make my coffee and head out the door. Have a lovely Monday, you guys. I'm sure I will see you back here. I think I'm just gonna upload this and then start a new video for later today. But yeah, hope that you have a lovely day, morning, Monday, wherever you are. Maybe you even have off. Lucky you. Take that PTO. Take that PTO. And then this week, it should be a long weekend for a lot of people because of Memorial Day, which means next week is a short week. So, yay! Yay, yay, yay for long weekends and short weeks. So, all right, I'm done. I'll see you guys. Bye.